You're the caterpillar supervisor, but I really don't need a helicopter supervisor. I've been doing this for a while. I know what I'm doing with my butterfly garden.
Can you walk me through the steps of when you first get to your butterfly garden? What would be the first thing you do in the morning when you get there?
Yeah, I open the greenhouse door.
Do you open it from the inside or do you open it from the outside?
Really? Do I open it from the inside or the outside? And you're the supervisor? You're kidding me, right?
I mean, I just got to make sure you're opening the door properly when you walk in. What would be the second thing? Do you flip the lights on with your whole hand, or you just use like a finger to flip the lights on?
Wow. You really are the helicopter supervisor who just over my shoulder. Just let me do my thing, man. Just let me do my thing.
So is that a yes to the finger flip?
Scene. Funny, nice job. Cool. Any thoughts from those watching? Anything? A brief thought? Nothing? You made no impression on anyone.
Good call.
But you did on me. I enjoyed the scene. I learned a couple of things from it. Lee started off with questions, and we typically say, "Hey, don't kick yourself yet." And we typically say, "Oh, don't ask questions. Never ask questions." Well, obviously you can. Obviously that worked just fine. Why did it work just fine? Because Ruddy didn't worry about answering the questions. I mean, he did, but he immediately brought it back to, "Hey, who the hell are you? This is about us." And Lee kept asking questions. Good, because that turns out to have been the character that he was occupying. Fine. And Ruddy's responses were, he was incensed or offended or bothered. So these questions generated an emotion and a dynamic between the two of them. So some improv directors would buzz their little buzzer and say, "Stop asking questions," and I don't. I don't. It's how you deal with it. It's how it fits in within the context of the scene, and it was more than fine. It was funny as fuck. It worked. It worked because of how the dynamic evolved, and the questions served to create the dynamic, and that's fine. So I no problem with that. Also, Lee started off with kind of with an idea, like, here's what I think the scene's going to be about. Sort of like a topic sentence, like saying, "I'm certainly driving my car now," but it was a little more interesting than that. And Ruddy turned it back into normal, which was, "We're just two people, and I don't like the way you do things." So from that point on, no matter what Lee said or did, we already knew. In that context, Ruddy's going to hear it and see it in that context. Good. We got ourselves a basis of a scene. Good. And that's why it worked. And Ruddy also did not reply immediately to the first question. He took a couple of beats before he said something like "what" or "huh" or whatever. Good. Great. So nice job. I'm going to do this. I don't know if we can collectively do it, but because I don't want to upset the internet by all doing everything at once. So let's get two more in, and we'll do another scene real quick. Okay. Who's next? I've got John and Marissa sitting next to one another. John and Marissa sitting in a tree. And there we are. Do yourselves a scene.
So, what do you think of it? good, right? That's
It,
look. It's good,
I
right?
don't want to say. I was always told if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. So I'm trying to hold it in and trying to find the nice thing to say because I don't want to be mean. But
I make you the best grilled cheese in the world, and the only thing you say is meh. Candace, is it not enough for you?
I just look. You knew when we got into this that I was not a grilled cheese girl. It's just never been my thing. And as far as things I don't like go, it was nah.
What? When we started all this, you said you were open-minded. You said you were open to new things. And grilled cheese, I thought that was it. I thought this was the new thing that we'll explore together. And meh? And you don't like it? It's like you don't even know me. It's this is who I am. Candace.
I mean, we don't. Maybe we can change it up a bit. Like maybe we could try using like rye bread instead of tomato. Like
Rye bread instead of tomato. Look, my tomato, sandwiches instead of bread, it's gluten free. Okay, I promised you it'd be gluten free, so no bread, just tomatoes. Like just ripe. Okay, with layers of Munster cheese and gorgonzola. That nothing's wrong with that, babe. Come on.
don't get me wrong. I give
Rye
you
bread.
points for creativity. They were very fresh tomatoes. No one's arguing the freshness of those tomatoes. Respect for the tomatoes.
Scene. Nice job. Respect for the tomatoes. That's going to be the name of my next improv duo. Respect for the tomatoes. Any comments from the peanut gallery anywhere? Anything you saw? Nothing? Okay, I'll keep going. Once again, John started us off with a question, but we've learned. See, John's shaking it. We just learned that that's not a problem.
Yeah.
It's not a problem. It's so ingrained. You were taught by some schmuck not to ask questions, and now when I point out that you do it, you're like, oh shit. Well, obviously, it turned out fine, didn't it? In fact, the question was so vague. It was, what do you think of it? Good. It took us a while to find out that it was grilled cheese. Great. It didn't matter. And Marissa's response, we don't all know one another yet by face, but Marissa's response was nonverbal at first. Totally nothing, totally nonverbal, but facial expression, nonverbal. We found out that it was grilled cheese, and Candace, John threw in a name. He named her. That's nice, particularly for what we're going to be doing, which is narrative improv, which requires characters to come back. And even when Marissa's character tried to solve the issue by saying, we can change it to rye bread instead of tomatoes, John didn't let her solve the issue. We don't want to solve the issue. We can attempt to solve the issue. We just don't want to actually solve the issue. So John, of course, who uses bread anyway? You put 2 slices of tomato with cheese in between. That's a grilled cheese sandwich. So that was, once again, lovely scene. What I like about these 2 scenes so far is I'm going to start putting stupid shit on the screen again. I'm sorry. Let's see. I've got so much stupid shit. I've got to find it. Yeah, is that they were grounded. I believed them. I believed what they were saying and doing, and I believed that they believed it. That nobody was saying anything just to be weird. You can say weird stuff, but believe the weird stuff. Good. Let's get on to two more. We've got Jeremiah. I've got here, and Andy. Ready? Let me kick everybody else out of here. Jay gets thrown out again. Okay, go for it.
Ah! 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 Ah!
I thought it was a nightmare, but it's real. With all this shouting, do you need a coffee? A medicine?
I mean, I don't know what I need. I don't know what I need anymore. I don't know what I need.
Don't you need me? I need you.
Wow. Wow, this just got so deep. You need me?
Yeah. I
Like,
tried to make you feel that I need you, but you don't care.
but I thought we were just screaming buddies.
At first,
I didn't think it was emotional.
okay, we can just scream. Ah!
Ah! Ah!
Ah!
Ah! That's not enough for you?
Scene. Say, let me take these out now that my ears are shot. No, just kidding. Nice job. Let's get everybody back in there. Okay. Any thoughts? No, nobody has any thoughts.
Wait, I have a thought.
Very good.
My favorite line was, I thought we were just screaming buddies. I lost it when you said that.
Yeah, so did I. Now, it's one of those things that I love being proved right about shit. I'm a guy. Yeah, so it's not just me, but I thought we were just screaming buddies. Now, see, there's a line that I don't care how long you sit down and try to write a sketch or try to think of an improv thing or write a book. That line will never come out of you. No one will. I don't think anyone on planet Earth, except in maybe some S&M clubs, has ever said, I thought we were just screaming buddies. So how did it happen? So it got there because you do improv with emotions. You do improv by reacting to one another, and then something triggers something in you, and it comes out without you even knowing it. You couldn't have planned that. And that's, to me, the best improv, is when something happens that no one has ever done or would ever do. And no one could have thought of. Which is why you don't want to worry about plot. You don't want to worry about where's the scene going, because if you do, stuff like that never happens. Cool. It was emotional. It was crazy. It was nuts, and everybody went with it, and that was great. Fine. I loved it. Let's get two more. Who we got? We got Jay. Let me just do this here. Let me remove all the unwanted people. Let's have Jay and what do we got here? Jay and Joy. Two J's. Go for it.
Robok Sharababa Sharababa. Spirit of the devil, you get out of that body. Robok Sharababa. Robok Sharababa. Sorobok, Sorobaba. Robok Sharababa. Sorobok, Sorobaba. 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 Sorobok, In
Okay, now
Jesus'
that we're
name.
done with your
In
attempt
Jesus' name.
to let me out of this body, let me try this. Boo! Okay, so it doesn't work. So I'm going to just inhabit this body. I mean, it's fine here. It's a little old, dark, boring. Okay, will you stop that? That's just annoying. Okay. Okay. You and I know that this will not work. You try reversing the process. Try reversing the process.
Okay, it's your choice. We are given choices.
Thank you. Okay. Because the more that you try to shoo me away, the more that I'm going to stay. So try welcoming me because when you welcome people, they usually leave.
It's your
I'm,
choice.
see,
If you chose to do the bad thing and the lust of this world, it's your choice.
oh, I'm not going to do the bad thing. Don't worry about that. I'm just going to stay here and be, the regular guy that you always know.
Alright. God loves you.
Let me try this. I'll invite you to my place this time. Okay? And I'll even throw a party for you so that you feel welcome.
I'm not safe there.
And scene. Nice, fun. That was fun. Everybody liked that. Let me get everybody back. Yay! Any comments? I enjoyed that. You can shout it out.
They both had character development in that short time, they were both committed. And I mean, Jay, you went with that character and so did you, Joy. I knew exactly who you were.
Would you any of you say that was a grounded scene or a weird scene?
Yes.
That is the right answer. It's both. It's absolutely both, of course, which proves that you can do weird in a grounded way. That as long as you both believe what you're saying and doing, that's all that matters. You don't have to be two people sitting on a bus sharing a newspaper, which there's nothing wrong with, by the way. But you don't have to do that. You can be as far out as you want, as long as I believe you believe it, and that proves it. And of course, what Joy was doing was a thing that other people know about too. But Rosowski is always saying that repetition is not redundant or redundancy. That repetition is one of the cornerstones of comedy. And not only that, but repetition is one of the. No, I'm not going to do that. So meta shit. So that was a really fun scene. It was grounded. It was a grounded scene. That could have been part of any other narrative. And I like the commitment. Jay, your character looked like it was trying to solve a problem, solve the problem of the scene, which is fine as long as the actor isn't trying to solve the problem in the scene, which you weren't, if you know what I mean. Because there was no way you were going to solve the problem. So the failed attempt at solving a problem is just as good as not trying. Okay, so who we got left? Amy, you haven't done anything yet, have you? Okay, so let's get Amy in there, and let's go back to the very beginning, and let me get there. Okay, go for it.
I'm not playing hide and seek with you again, Jerry. Come on. We have to put the kids to bed.
Can we just a little longer? I love playing hide and seek, and the children love it too.
I feel like I'm raising you these days, you know.
You're such a killjoy. All of us love hide and seek.
Hide and seek with my 45-year-old husband. Hide and seek.
I know it's great fun. Don't be a party pooper.
You know, I told you you could be a clown at children's birthday parties if you didn't bring it home. And look at you. Look at you right now.
I know. I'm sorry. I just bring my work home with me.
It seems like you want to spend more time with your buddies than me these days, you know. Sorry I don't like hide and seek or balloon animals or our kids.
Wow, that's no wonder I like to spend time with my buddies. Let me tell you something, Judy. I still love you with all my heart.
I'm trying. Okay? It's not easy. I'm married to a clown, you know?
Scene.
Oh, God. It looked like you were hiding from me in the beginning.
Who wouldn't? Okay. Any comments from the watchers of that?
That was really a funny, grounded scene. That was awesome.
Yes, it was. Even though parts of it were actually kind of serious, you know.
Right.
Which you know goes back to what we were saying last week. Yeah, I noticed that. Well, of course, we got the name Jerry in there. That's kind of cool. And Judy, right? Wasn't it Judy?
Yeah.
It was great. It was a normal thing. Got to put the kids to bed. Ruddy's character, Ruddy took on this voice and this architecture of this guy that just from that you could kind of tell what type of person it was, which means you could kind of tell what the relationship might be like. And then Amy said, I feel like blah, 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 blah. I feel like I'm raising you or something like that, or some other thing. I feel like is a nice thing to say. It's kind of like an I want statement, which provides us with a clue as to what the problem with you actually is. It's not about hide and seek. It's more central than that. I feel like blah 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 blah. So it tells the audience and your scene partner that's the problem. And now that you've voiced that, it gives your partner the chance to make that particular problem worse. If it's just about hide and seek and you do a 2-minute scene about hide and seek, well, that's okay. But when you say I feel like, or I want, or I don't want, and let us inside you, then suddenly give us all this great stuff to play with. Yep. And Ruddy's character admitted he was wrong and said he loved her with all his heart, which made him go from low status to high status immediately and put Amy on the defensive. Now she's the schmuck for not responding. Now she's defensive. So that contained just about everything. And all the scenes we've seen so far contained everything. I haven't seen a bad scene yet, and I don't think I will. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show more stupid things on the screen, and we're going to talk about narrative. I don't know if you're taking notes. Don't worry about it if you're not, because I'm going to put something up now that looks like it should take notes. But there you go. See that? Okay, there it is. That's a narrative arc. You can look it up anywhere. You can find it online. It's not mine. Exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, resolution, the arc of most narratives. We're not going to be concerned with that today. But it would be wrong of me not to at least point out that there is such a thing as the exposition of a story, the rising action where events complicate things, the climax where things get extremely tense and someone, the protagonist, has to make a choice. The falling action where is the release of the tension and some of the characters now change or evolve, just like we just saw. And the resolution, everything's fine, or no, I should say everything is resolved. It could be unhappily or happily. End of the story, and that it's satisfying because it's all tied up in a bow. Great, I've said it. There it is. We're not going to worry about that. Most of us have seen enough movies, enough TV series, and that somewhere embedded deep in us, we almost instinctively understand this. It's almost a language that we all understand, this cinematic language. So we're not going to worry about it. It's in the back of your head. If you know it, great. If you want to know it, look it up or talk to me and we'll talk about it, but sometime, but not now. What we're going to talk about this time is a particular way of doing narratives. There's all kinds of ways of doing it. There's a linear sort of narrative. This happens, and then that happens, and then that happens, and then that happens. They follow one another. That's not what we're going to be doing either. We're going to be doing what we call tent poles, or more accurately, TP poles. And what do I mean by that? Somebody might know. It's not my invention, by the way, so don't worry. So it actually works. What does anyone think that I mean by that?
I can guess.
Go. Well, that's what I'm guessing. It's
just that okay. By the visual that you gave me, that we have a bunch of two-person scenes that progress, and then they all meet at one point in the top.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Well, they all meet at one point. Yeah. It doesn't meet and then that's the top and the end of things, but the scenes that we will do have nothing to do with each other at first, just like the bottoms of these poles are far apart, but they converge somewhere, and when they do, it creates a stronger structure. Sort of like that. If you take a look at the one on the left, on the left of the screen, forget about that little red block down there that you can't even see. Pretend it's not there. It wasn't needed. You've got a yellow brick and a green brick, and they have nothing in common. They're not even touching one another. They're not even the same size or the same color. And yet somebody put a blue brick there, and now they're part of a structure. So think of it as one scene, two scene, three scene. And then when we get past that, or the one on the right, you don't have to put them where they're expected. You can put them off kilter a little bit. And everyone is contributing to this Lego thing that we're building. And it's eventually going to be a structure that we recognize. That, oh, I see what we're building. We're building an airplane. Oh, I see what we're building. We're building a church. Oh, I see what we're building. Nobody knew it to start with. They just put down a brick, and then, okay, I'll put a brick here. So that's how the scenes will work. So the opening scene, and this is especially true when you're doing musical improv. The opening scenes work really well when they are two different things, different characters, even in a different place. As long as they inhabit, the same world, that's fine. So here's, this is one scene, and here's another scene. They have nothing to do with one another, and by the time the third scene happens, that can kind of begin to tie them together. We see something from one and something from the other, and we begin to say, oh, I see what these two things have in common. I see how they're in the same world. And once we've done a few like that, then you begin to see the whole picture and all the ramifications. Then you can start doing all kinds of stuff. Structure's made now. And now you can just add on to it and have fun with it. Once those poles meet, once that third scene or sometimes the fourth scene is done, then, oh crap, that pile on. It's a lot stronger and a lot simpler than doing a scene that happens in the bowling alley from 8 o'clock to 8:05, then the same people from 8:05 to 8:10, then the same people from 8:10. I mean, if you're doing it in a linear way, you've got to have some idea of the plot in your head, and you can't possibly. So whoever started stacking these bricks had no idea what the plot was. They didn't know where they were going with it. It didn't matter. It was going to get there. So you want to stack. So this first scene should be grounded in the ground like a pole, like a tent pole. The second scene grounded in the ground like a tent pole. If they're too far apart, they won't ever have a chance to meet. If this scene is in a pizzeria in Brooklyn, and this scene is on the planet Neptune, it's likely you're making it hard for yourselves to make these things meet. They don't have to be in Brooklyn, but it's nice if they're on the same planet, just to make life easy for yourselves. Okay, so any questions about that? And before we jump in and start doing it? Nothing.
How many when we do the individual scenes, we only go once, or does that repeat?
Right now, tonight?
Yeah.
What I'm going to have us do, I'm going to have 4 people on the screen here. 2 people are going to be in a scene. The other 2 people are going to not be in a scene, and then we'll switch, and the other 2 people will do a scene that is not related to the first scene. And then for the first time around, I'm going to ask everybody, okay, what could a third scene be that could link those scenes, or that the characters could do that could link those scenes. And we'll do it quickly, and then once that's done, we'll do it. Okay. So that some scenes may have 3 people in them. It doesn't matter. So what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to have 4 or 5 people on the screen right now. 2 people or 3 people, depending upon what we decide. We'll do a scene. The second group, when that scene is done, we'll switch it up, and the second group will do a scene as though the first people didn't even do theirs. And then we will decide. We'll talk about how do you link them? What do they have in common? Okay. The cool thing about this is that you don't have to keep that whole narrative arc in your head the whole time, because you will instinctively start to see, oh, here's what I have to do to make this link with that, and you will do it. And built into what your choice is will be part of a narrative arc. You'll see it. Once again, simplifying. That doesn't sound like it, but it actually is simplifying, because I'm basically telling the first two scenes, do whatever the hell you want to do. How much easier can it be? All right, let's get 4 people. I got 4 people right along the top there, so I'm going to leave them in there. So we got Ruddy, Amy, John. So we're going to remove. This is not that easy. 2. Who else? 3. 4, 5. Okay, so I got 4 people there. Let me see if I do it this way. Is it easier? Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. Yeah, so the 2 people on the top are doing a scene, and John and Lee are not. So do yourself a minute and a half scene, just like we just did.
You're still muted. Why do you always do this to yourself? You make it so difficult.
Okay,
Come on, we've gone over this. You're gonna.
No.
Okay,
Start over.
Okay.
Let's make it easy.
I like it. I like your shirt. It's nice.
Thank you. I wore it for you. I was hoping it would make you happy.
I mean, it does. It makes me happy. I mean, I'm happy. You know.
Well, I wasn't sure. That's why I was asking. You know, I can't always tell. You smile, but then underneath it isn't always happy.
You're right. I know. So I'm glad you wore yellow, because yellow's a happy color. And I'm happy. You can't tell that I'm happy?
No, I can't. I can't. You smile, it's almost a reflex, but your eyes don't smile. This beautiful, white, toothy smile. These gorgeous eyes.
Toothy.
I
knew I should not have gotten these veneers. Toothy. Oh my gosh. I've never been called toothy.
It's a gorgeous smile. I'm just at odds for adjective. It's just like beautiful teeth. That's what I meant. Not like toothy, like a horse kind of smile. That would be horrible. Like Mr. Ed smiles, not that.
Scene. Okay, I'm gonna switch you up. Go. Nothing to do with that. Go.
Dude, I got tickets, man. I got tickets.
Shh, dude, you're loud, man. Just don't let anyone else know. You got the tickets though.
I got the tickets. I'm sorry. I should. I won't be loud. Yeah. Is your dad still spying on you?
What? What are you talking about?
Yeah. You were telling me last week your dad was spying on you, and you can't really go outside your room anymore. Remember?
What? My dad doesn't spy on me. What are you talking? No, my dad's the best. Don't say that stuff out loud.
Dude, I told you I wouldn't say anything to anybody.
You're so loud, bro. Stop.
Okay. I got the tickets.
You got the tickets.
I got the tickets.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what we gotta do?
Is your dad there?
He's always here. I mean, he probably isn't here in my room, but he's always here.
And scene. This is, I hate to stop it. So the 4 of you, just to keep it simple, what could we do to make this? I mean, I can see it clearly, but it's not always clear inside. What could a next scene be? We can mix and match. The characters have to stay the same. What could a next scene be?
We all end up at the same place. Like, I don't know, because I was talking about his shirt, and maybe he was getting ready for something, and then they have tickets to something, so maybe we all end up.
The tickets could be to a marriage counseling put on by like one of these, either Amy or Ruddy, explaining about how perfect their relationships are.
Okay, that could be. What else?
I could be, I guess, assuming they're a married couple and their kid, and then I have the father coming into the picture, being Ruddy in this case.
Yeah, that's my thought.
Yeah,
because that links the characters. It's not random. It's just, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, we got this. Who is he to? We know who he is to her, sort of, but now you can define him that way. So let's go. Do it.
Great. Oh, hey, Dad. What's?
Uh-oh.
Frederick, or you can't hide from me. I can see. I got microphones. I can still hear you. I don't know what you think you're doing, but you know that I know that you know that I'm watching you. So you can hide as much as you want. I still got you, and I know about those tickets. And I know about that friend that you're talking out the window to. So if you think that I don't know, I want you to know that I know. So now you know that I know that you know.
I've switched. Now you're in a scene with Lee. New scene since John disappeared. Wait. Never mind. There we go.
When I clicked all the keyboard buttons. All right.
Likely excuse. I saw what you were doing.
What? How long were you there for?
I was there the whole time.
I mean, I know you're always here. But you're always watching.
I have microphones and I have little cameras, just so you know.
Just in case, you never know. If one of them goes down, I can fix them. Where are those?
Okay. Scene. I'm gonna now. All of you are in a scene somewhere, and I'm gonna disappear myself.
And point him out to me. Which one's your dad? Point him out to me.
You know my dad. He's the guy in
I'm gonna
yellow
ask him.
shirt. His nice yellow shirt that he always wears.
I'm gonna ask him. You mind if I ask him?
Are you listening to them right now? I want to see. Let me hear our son. Let me hear this.
Sure. I got you, Tiffany. I got you a cup of coffee. Now, just look at the. It's a little screen. It's like a spy screen. It looks like a cell phone. Just put it right next to the coffee. And don't worry about the coffee staining your veneers. That would never happen.
You see, they're talking about setting me up and putting up cameras.
Do they know that we've got cameras watching their cameras?
So loud.
They have no idea. They have no idea that we're watching them, and they don't.
They don't know. You're right. I don't think they know. I mean, maybe if you're like, if you lower your decibels, they'll definitely won't know. Okay, so
we can Tiffany, we can find out. We can find out if they're watching us watching them.
Okay, one more scene. This one is between Lee and Amy.
You forced my son to buy tickets. You're the bad influence. I've always said you were a bad influence on him.
And I'm trying to be a bad influence. You baby him. You don't let him out of the house. I've got to be the dad, even though he's older than me. I've got to be like the one to say, you know what? It's all right to pee in the bushes. It's okay. You know what? And you don't even have to wash your hands after. You know,
you're disgusting.
I know.
Scene. Okay, cool. Any thoughts? Yes, nice job. Any thoughts?
There's so much tension in the scenes that I love it so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, it's cool to see all the links just connecting.
Yeah. Obviously, this is a sort of thing, a narrative piece in improv is a sort of thing that 5 or 6 people do, and it goes for 30 minutes or 15 or 20 minutes. So it's, there is an arc, but you do see how 2 scenes that couldn't possibly have had anything to do with one another suddenly did. And it's a matter of having this filter in your head of if you're on the back line or wherever you are in the scenes and you see things, it's like, how can I use that? What they just did? How can I take one of those characters and read or continue to define it? Uh, it wasn't stated that whether or not Ruddy's character was a dad or not. So make him a dad. Uh, if the second scene had been different and they weren't teenagers or whatever they were, maybe Ruddy's character could have been the boss, or Amy's character could have been the supervisor or something like that, if necessary. Just because they're two people who just did a scene doesn't mean they don't have a life, and that one of them isn't, president of the condo association. So think that, how can I apply these people, these characters? If you this is especially true in like Shakespearean improv and in musical improv, but it's true in any narrative improv. If you make your character in your scene believable and grounded and we can identify with him, it's like having a bunch of crayons in a box. So everyone on the back line can look at that and say, I know what I'm going to do, and I know what color I want to color with now. I want to color with this character because I know what this character is. So you do a scene with that character. I'm going to color with these two characters, and I'm going to mix them together, and we're going to see what happens. It's like that. So instead of thinking about what's the plot, you think about, what colors do I want to play with now? Which crayons do I want to use to keep making it? And after a while, you begin to see the thing that you're coloring. And it was an elephant. Oh, cool. It's a lot easier to do that than to sit there and try to think, okay, where's this going? Do we need a haunted house? Who knows? Any comments before we swap it around?
When we were all four on the screen, were we supposed to be interacting, or is it always just the top line that's okay?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Whatever you would do, whatever choice you make. If four of you are on a stage,
yeah,
and two of you are over on stage right and two of you are on stage left, maybe you're in the same location, or maybe you're doing mirroring or competing scenes, cocktail party kind of scenes in different locations. It's your choice whether to be in one location or not. Not mine. You're just on stage, but that doesn't mean anything. You give it meaning. Okay, so let's swap it around. I know who to remove. 3 and 4. Okay, so we're going to have a 2-person scene and a 3-person scene. A 3-person scene is a 2-person scene with a third person. Let me write that down. I'm going to have Marissa and Joy do a scene, since you happen to be standing next to one another. And then the three of you on the bottom, Jeremiah, Andy, and Jay, will do some kind of a scene, and then we'll do exactly the same thing. Figure out, where's it going? How do you link them? But please, now that you've seen this, the second group, please don't try to make it just random. Keep it random. We'll know. I'll be watching. Okay. Go, Marissa and Joy.
Georgia.
Yeah. What? Sam, what?
I told you to bring the wallet. Why didn't you bring it? We're going shopping.
I just don't like carrying a wallet. People can, take it.
What happened to you? Focus. Come on. Georgia, forget about him. Forget about him. We're doing the upgraded you. Come on. I
know.
Yeah, I know it hurt. I know it still hurt, and you still love him, but he has moved on already. You have a life. Live your life. Come on.
My life was with him. How am I supposed to move on when my whole life was with him?
Georgia, you're a phoenix. This is a rebirth. Look at your hair. It's a rebirth. Come on. Say it to me. It's a rebirth.
It's a rebirth.
No, I'm not convinced. Convince me. Come on.
It's a rebirth.
No, I'm not still convinced. I will not say anything until I am convinced.
It's a rebirth.
And scene. Nice job. Now I won't move you guys around. Now the bottom row, Jeremiah, Andy, and Jay, you're doing a completely different scene. And Marissa and Joy are not. Go.
Look, would you guys stop fighting with each other? I mean, it's like this every time we get together. Every Sunday you guys fight over the same thing.
Well, maybe if you tell her to bring the pizza next time.
Well, maybe if you tell him to bring the cucumber juice that I've been wanting so much. I won't say anything.
Well, maybe someone could remember if, someone's allergic to cucumbers.
Yes, look, you need to stop bringing pizza with pineapple, and you need to start bringing the cucumber water, okay? Let's just flip it over. We need to, this is all about mediation, I just end up to be, I hate to end up in the middle of the two of you guys. I'm always doing the same thing. It's like you guys depend on me, you guys depend on me. You guys depend on me to be family. Come on, it shouldn't be that hard, guys. You're freaking twin brothers, and
Well, maybe if you could just let us fight, we'll be able to fight.
Well, maybe someone doesn't like to fight.
Look, you guys, maybe we can figure out at least this Sunday if you guys want to keep on fighting or not fight for the rest of your lives, and that can be a starting point. Look, next time put the pineapple on the pizza and put the cucumber in the pizza and the pineapple in the water, and then you can drink each other's water and eat each other's pizza. You can do it for him and you can do it for her.
I don't want to do anything for him.
Well,
I don't want to do anything for him, my twin brother.
That also makes sense. We can also hate each other for the rest of our lives.
We can hate each other. I like that.
Yeah. We can hate each other. I mean,
Scene. Cool. Good. So those two scenes, how can they mesh? How can characters intermesh in those two scenes? I've got some definite ideas, but
well, they're twin brothers,
mm-hmm.
And Marissa, Georgia had a fallout with one person,
mm-hmm.
which could be confusing if they're twin brothers. That could be kind of fun.
Certainly could. That's exactly right. I mean, that's not the answer, but it is sure a good one. It's a good answer. It's the first one that sticks out at me. But what? Any others?
Marissa is the third twin.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get out. No, I'm not going to get out because then things are going to shuffle around. We won't have threes. So I'm just going to shut up. I'm gonna do something about that. I'm going to do that, and the bottom row is gonna do a scene now, and the top two are not for right now, and then we'll mix it up. Either of those two work for me, but if you got another one, fine. Go ahead.
I hate when you guys are like this.
Well, maybe you just found out our secret.
But we're not supposed to have secrets between the three of us, right? It's supposed to be, like the Three Musketeers. Came out together, all gonna go together. I think that's what they
You,
did.
you know what, Georgia? Being our sister, okay? You're my favorite sibling.
Oh,
Okay,
really
okay,
mean that?
okay. Okay, so let us Faye say her part. This is a family intervention retreat. So we need to fix the things that are needed to be fixed. Okay, Faye, what will you say to your brother?
Oh, well, maybe if I just can get out of this freaking house, I can live my own life.
Okay, so I feel. You started with I feel.
I,
You can do it, Faye. This is for yourself also.
I, I feel left out.
Okay, Georgia, what do you feel?
I feel surprised. I didn't realize we might be leaving someone out. I'm sorry.
Okay. So how about you, Lee? Jay Lee?
I'm just going to hang out with, our friend.
No, let's start it with I feel.
I feel that I have to hang out with my other friends.
Emotions.
I feel that I should really, really excitedly hang out with uh, John here.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Scene. Emotions. I feel I should excitedly do it. I'm excited. You're getting emotional. Okay. Okay. So, any thoughts about that from anyone? Either of those two things that we just did.
I guess it's just a little bit harder to keep track of all the links between all the more people,
It is hard. It's hard if, in this context, it's hard. It's hard if we don't give one another names right away, but we haven't talked about that because I really didn't want to put that in everybody's heads and force them to do that. It's possible to name someone else, to name the other person later on. That's fine, as long as we know what they are. Basically, we know what color, which crayons we want to play with. But yes, one of the things that it's helpful to do in narrative scenes is to establish kind of where you are in a location, and particularly if you're doing two scenes and one scene is in one location, another scene is in another definite location that's different. We can figure out, okay, one took place in an office, one took place in the living room. Maybe the guy in the living room works in that office. that sort of thing. So every one of those little things that we do makes life a little easy. It's like breadcrumbs, putting down breadcrumbs so you can find your way back, sort of thing. But as you saw, it's not necessary. All you need are defined characters who have a personality and a point of view, and we then can figure out how to mix and match them. And if you do this over a 25-minute period, it winds up in places that you wouldn't think. It's not just 4 characters, it's 6 characters or 8 characters, and figuring out how to intermesh. Any other comments or questions, thoughts? Does this make any sense? Does this work in some way? Does it this? I mean, you know.
I feel like it definitely. I like it. I guess with it being online right now, I guess you would edit the scene to figure out where to go. So if we were to, yeah, okay,
yeah.
So that's why you would do it, or
yes. Although you certainly don't edit your own scene. Well, you can. There are ways to do that, but you don't usually edit your own scene. Someone else decides your scene is over. The only trick is that the people who are now being thrown onto the stage weren't planning on being on the stage, but there are formats where that happens anyway.
Okay.
In life, but yeah, you know, it's trickier.
But no, I mean, I thought, especially with you behind the wheel, it felt smooth and it felt good, and both of them felt like it meshed pretty well. So,
well, I was only behind the wheel because technically I don't know any other way of doing that.
Sure.
And you know, that's why I'm not using Zoom. Any other thoughts?
I don't know if I'm getting ahead here with this question, but like, let's say you have, like right now we have the 2 people and then the 3 people scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
If somehow we find the connection, but obviously different people may have different connections as to what can happen on the 3rd scene,
mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
When we go to the 3rd scene or the peak of that, the peak, whatever, the final scene, whatever you call it, would all 5 people be mandated to enter the scene and make it happen? Or if someone figured out, maybe one person goes first and maybe you don't even enter the scene because you're like, okay, they don't need me on that last.
Yes. One of the things you learn in doing musical improv, it's especially true in musical improv, is that there are major characters and there are minor characters. Not everybody is the star this time in each piece. You begin to figure out which ones are the interesting characters, and everyone who's honest on the back line can see it. Like, I really want to see more of that. That we can really glom onto that character. And some characters are less so. They're helpers. They make things go, but we're not following their life. And in musical improv, you have scenes where characters are like Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. You know, they don't really. It's not about them, but they are comic relief almost, or they are. They help push things. They're like tugboats, helping to push a bigger ship. So, if you have 8 people in a troupe, you don't have 8 main characters. You've got 2, maybe 3, 4 tops. Hopefully a love interest or some kind of interest like that. A protagonist, an antagonist, someone who is trying to get something, someone who is trying to get something different. But not everybody is important in the same way. And the next time you guys, the same people do a narrative, different actors will wind up in those important roles. You don't know ahead of time. You see it. It's like, oh shit, okay. That's our lead singer. So you certainly can all wind up in the same. And when we did Shakespearean stuff, we always all wound up on the stage together, and we either all killed one another or all got married, which is just a slower version of killing one another. No, really, we it was always a sword fight. There was the stage was always littered with dead bodies or dancing bodies over the dead bodies. It was always like that. But that just signaled to the guy in the light booth, we're done. But yes, you can do it any way you want. You can build it upside down and have everything come to a climax and have everybody there. Have a big last scene. It's just that those big scenes with a lot of people lose focus really quickly, and people overtalk, and everyone's trying to get their words in, and we lose the we don't see what the resolution is. We just see everybody trying to have fun. Any other comments? Thoughts? Yeah, I think the main point is that I'll do a thing again. Do I have one? No. Do I have a thing?
Give it to us.
I'm somewhere.
Show us.
No, I don't have it. It's the difference between randomness and chaos. They're not the same. Randomness is lottery numbers. Whatever number gets picked has no effect whatsoever on whichever number comes after. It's just no cause and effect. So lottery numbers are random. The weather is chaos. There is a cause and effect. It's just so complicated you can't always predict it very well. But you can always later on look back and say, oh, well, that led to that. That led to that. That's why the hurricane hit there. It's chaos, but it's not random. So the scenes that we do start off in randomness. We have no idea why we're doing what we're doing. We don't want to have any idea why we're doing what we're doing. And that could last a while. And then maybe the next scene, same thing. It's chaos. It's random. The next scene is random. It doesn't have any connection to the first scene. It's random. Then we start to use chaos. I see these two random things. I see how this molecule interacts with that molecule, and I see why this is going to happen. And it's complicated, but I'm happy to be in the middle of it. And wherever it takes us, that's where we're going to wind up. So to do things this way makes it look to the audience impossible, because they don't know this. They don't know anything about this. They just see actors acting a script that they don't know, that's never been written, and I can't imagine how you wound up at this place at the end where everybody is blah 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 blah. They don't realize that you used randomness and chaos to get there, because to them it looks like order, and it's always a surprise to them. But if you expect order, you're going to fuck up. If you embrace randomness and then begin to embrace the chaos, order will emerge from it, and you're not going to put it there. It's just going to be there. So that's how, when I say making it easy, making it simple, that's what I mean. It looks complicated as hell when you watch it, especially when it's done well. I did tech for a really great improv troupe from New York called Three-Peat. They're wonderful. It's what they do. It's musical and not musical. It's just crazy, and it looks absolutely crazy what they do, and it's brilliant. And I can see, and you watch the people on the back line, and they are just waiting for like, that, okay, I can play with that, boom, that I can play with that, boom, and it just turns it, and they are not looking any further ahead than what's happening. And at the end of it, it's like, how the hell did they do that? So it is about making it simple. It is about reducing it to these little bits of randomness and bits of chaos and embracing it. But the minute you try to control it, it doesn't work. You're making it difficult for yourself. Any other questions before we do one quick other thing? Nothing? No comments? Any thoughts?
I like the weather analogy for chaos.
Yeah, well, that's it's the one that everybody can associate with. Yeah, we often thinking, oh, that was just random. It was chaotic. No, two different things. I'm just looking for ways to explain what's going on, for things that already exist, to explain what goes on it, or what should go on a stage. And when you try to have order, when you try to make things ordered, what you wind up with, as far as the audience is concerned, is chaos. When you use randomness and chaos, what you wind up with, as far as the audience is concerned, is order. It's just the way it is. It's human nature. And if we did improv for dogs instead of for people, it'd be different. We do things differently, but it's people, and we know how they react, those fuckers. So any other comments or questions?
So the chaos theory of improv is the butterfly garden in the first scene affects the weather in the last scene.
Oh, yeah. In fact, I would love to explore that. We don't have much time. I've got 5 minutes. I guess people have to leave. I don't know. But if not, I mean, we could explore that really quickly. In fact, why don't we do what improvisers love to do? Button it up the way we opened it. I'm gonna put Ruddy and Lee and Amy and John in, and we're back in the butterfly scene. Okay, and then I'll add other people, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so top row, back in the butterfly scene. Who we got? I got Joy there. You're Joy, unmute. You're in the butterfly scene too. It's butterfly scene, but later, and more people. All four of you, go.
Oh my God, the idiot's back. The supervisor, the guy he hired. He doesn't know we're back here.
Oh, I excuse me. I see you. I just need to make sure everybody have their lab coats on correctly. Everybody buttoned up properly.
Come on, let's go hide from them. They think they're breeding butterflies. They don't know we're here. Come on.
Sir.
We're the only two butterflies that survived.
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm listening. And don't. It's Mr. Sir, please, Mr. Sir, not just sir.
The butterflies don't actually wear lab coats. It brushes the powder off their wings.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna put.
Have you been putting too much powder on their wings? That's not in the manual. You understand that correctly? It's one shake of powder, nothing more than that. Do we need to go over the manual one more time?
Mr. Sir, we won't need to. We won't need to. I just wanted to say that nobody's putting powder on the butterfly's wings.
Okay. Jeremiah, I'm swapping you in. Same idea. Continue it. You're a new character, Jeremiah, in the same world.
Frankie, I'm so glad you're here, man. This job, it's stressful. You think a butterfly garden, that's a dream job. Everybody wants it. Look at these gorgeous butterflies.
Don't move. Play dead.
Johnny, I can't believe. I don't know if I want to do this for minimum wage.
So we got him. We fooled him. Over here. Oh my God. These are the worst butterfly breeders ever.
I just want to make more butterflies, to make people smile. But
Okay.
Frankie.
What?
You will. It's
and my little brother's coming to see them this morning. I promised them we were gonna have them multiplied by this evening.
Everybody's in.
You told
Did
me that
everybody wash their hands before coming in? Did everybody clean themselves properly?
These butterflies suck.
Because I don't think the people are tending to them correctly, following the manuals.
Johnny, be polite.
I got one butterfly.
She got me, Daisy. I'm stuck. Daisy, come help me. I'm stuck. She got me.
Goodbye, my friend. Goodbye to everything that we had.
And scene, as much as I hate to stomp on butterflies. Ah, yes.
She make that just happen to have.
The odds.
Wow.
Now that's randomness. Okay, so let's go around the horn here. I'll start as I always do on my whatever this is, left, right. I can't tell anymore. And we'll just go around and do a takeaway, circle, square. So start with you, Ruddy. Anything you take away?
Oh, I love the group. Friend me on Facebook, and I love to have friends as well. This is a great group of people. Certainly, ending with silliness and butterflies and puppets is my kind of thing. I absolutely loved when John's camera went off accidentally, and it made the scene that he didn't know, but we just went on.
Yeah,
and,
I can't wait to watch the
Yeah,
it was hilarious. I love it. That's what I love.
Me too.
Thank you. Thank all of you.
Okay, chaos. Jeremiah, anything?
Yes, for narrative names and places, that would help a more complicated bunch of scenes to go together and to guide us and to keep track of everything that's going on. But yes, and thank you everyone as well for playing with me.
Yeah, it's helpful to be a little bit more like a shopkeeper when you're doing narrative, just to have a little kind of list in your head and to do that little bit of extra labeling if you can, but it's not a loss if you don't. Andy, what do you got?
Well, I really love the group. There's a certain vibe in it, and I love to continue with the workshop because learning is really fun, and each person that you have a scene with is a different experience. So thank you, everyone.
Okay, true. Amy, any thoughts?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think it's a great group, and I just, the two things that stood out to me, just not worrying about the plot and just staying grounded. Not trying to make it. Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Right.
Not trying to be, funny. Haha, look at me. Just staying grounded, being there, being present. So.
Yeah, real life is funny.
Yes.
Lee, what you got?
I enjoyed it. I think it's good. It's weird because it's like doing the online thing is starting to become enjoyable, and before we know it, we're gonna all be back in rooms doing improv live together, and it's
my guess is we'll probably wind up doing both
at the same time, or you mean like
yes and no, yes and no, yes
Right.
and no,
yes and no.
John, what do you got?
Wow, tent poles. Haven't done that in forever, and I never thought it would work on the computer, and for the most part, it did, and I loved it. And such an easy thing too. And then again, it's awesome.
Oh yeah,
especially-
it's easy. Well, you teach it then.
Wait, no.
No.
Top? No, but yeah, doing improv with people around the world, that's awesome. I mean, I never thought
Yeah.
of doing improv with anyone from the
Yeah,
field.
real quick, where is everybody? Just say
You're
real quick,
the
what
one who's
city?
around the world, John.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's everybody from? I know, Brady, you're in Biloxi.
Yes. Streaming from Biloxi.
Yes. And I had a feeling you were Navy. But, that's the only link I could make between Biloxi and San Diego was Navy.
Yes, that is true.
Jeremiah, you're down in Miami now?
Yes.
Andy, you are in or near Manila?
Manila, Philippines.
So cool.
Amy is in Fort Lauderdale. Is that correct?
Boca.
Boca. That's even cooler. That's where I live. Lee, you're in
Boca.
Yay, John.
And not so cool for Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale is very cool. Marissa.
I'm in West Boca. That's
well.
East versus West.
So you're doing this from the back of a SUV somewhere.
yeah, my brother's from. Yeah.
Jay, where are you from?
I'm also in Manila.
Wow.
Okay, I'll send you an envelope. And Joy. Manila.
Yay.
These three are the thrillers from Manila.
Yes.
Good morning.
Okay. Well, I don't want to keep you any longer because I don't like to waste people's time any more than I naturally do. So thank you guys for doing
Thank
this.
you.
Thank you, Tom. You're wrong.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Catch our shows. We got a show. We got
Bye-bye.
shows tomorrow night, 9 p.m. our time. Saturday, 9 p.m. our time. Monday night, 7:30 p.m. our time. Crap. Doghouse Theater. Look it up. Follow us. Follow Doghouse. Why not? See ya.
Thank
Good night,
you.
guys.
Great
Bye.
day. Bye-bye.
Bye.